What if the man you went after publicly, declared wanted, sued repeatedly, and tried to silence using every tool of the state? What if that man ended up being the last person standing while you packed your bags and walked out of the highest police office in Nigeria? Because that is exactly what happened. And before this video is over, you are going to understand exactly how it all unraveled. The story starts with Lagos State Commissioner of Police Moshood Jimoh and a decision that, looking back, nobody can call smart. On October 27, 2025, Jimoh issued a public order banning Omoyele Sowore, publisher of Sahara Reporters and former presidential candidate, from entering Lagos State entirely. 1 week later, he appeared on Channels Television and declared Sowore wanted by the Nigeria Police Force. The reason? Sowore had tried to organize a protest on the Third Mainland Bridge over the demolition of properties in Oworonshoki. Jimoh stood in front of those cameras with the full confidence of a man who believed no consequence was coming, and behind him, providing that protection, stood Inspector General of Police Kayode Egbetokun, the most powerful police officer in Nigeria. Together, they looked unbeatable. But Sowore did not run. He went to court. Through his legal team led by Barrister Tope Temokun, Sowore filed a fundamental rights enforcement suit arguing that he was declared wanted without being invited for questioning, without an arrest warrant, and without any formal charge. He told the court this violated his constitutional rights to dignity, liberty, freedom of movement, freedom of expression, and peaceful assembly. He demanded 500 million naira in damages. The police fought back, insisting the commissioner had acted fully within his legal authority. They were confident, they were backed by the system. They thought this would go away. It did not go away. On February 20th, 2026, Justice Musa Kakaki of the Federal High Court in Lagos delivered his judgment, and the police lost completely. Justice Kakaki held that the actions of both Commissioner Jimoh and IGP Egbetokun were unconstitutional, unlawful, arbitrary, and a clear abuse of authority. He described Jimoh's conduct as outright lawlessness and held Egbetokun vicariously liable, meaning the IGP could not simply point fingers at his subordinate and walk away clean. 30 million naira in damages was awarded. The court was unambiguous. No Nigerian can be criminalized for speaking, protesting, or holding power to account. And if you are finding this story as gripping as we think you are, please subscribe right now and hit that notification bell, because we cover the stories that most people are still trying to piece together, and you do not want to be the last to know. So, the court ordered 30 million naira to be paid, and here's where it gets even more alarming. The police simply refused. They ignored the order entirely. As of this week, Sowore publicly accused both Commissioner Jimoh and the Nigeria Police Force of openly defying a valid subsisting court order. A Nigerian court spoke. The police looked at that judgment and decided it did not apply to them. Let that sink in for a moment. But then came Monday, February 23rd, 2026, and this is where everything collapsed. IGP Egbetokun was summoned to the presidential villa in Abuja. Multiple presidential sources confirmed that President Bola Tinubu directed him to prepare his handover notes. The official statement said Egbetokun resigned, citing family issues, but sources inside the presidency told a completely different story. And this is the part that tells you everything. One source said the scandals were simply too many and that Egbetokun had become power drunk. And then came the detail that nobody expected. Police officers at the force headquarters jubilated when they heard he was gone. The people who worked under him, who served under him every single day, celebrated his exit. That alone should tell you the kind of tenure this was. His replacement is Assistant Inspector of Police Tonji Disu, and reports indicate that at least 29 senior police officers are set to be fired in the shakeup that follows, a full institutional reckoning. Now think about everything that led here. The allegations that 100 million naira from Anambra State security vote was traced to Egbetokun's son's account, the court injunctions obtained to gag journalists, the repeated charges filed against Sowore simply for calling Egbetokun an illegal IGP, a description many legal experts said had merit, given the retirement age violations. Every scandal was met not with accountability, but with suppression. And yet, here we are. Sowore is free, still publishing, still speaking. Egbetokun is gone. And Commissioner Jimoh, the man who started all of this by banning Sowore from an entire state, is now standing without his powerful backer, exposed with an unpaid court judgment on the record, and a new IGP who owes him absolutely nothing. That is what power without accountability eventually looks like. It does not last. So here is what we want you to answer in the comments right now. Do you think Commissioner Jimoh should face personal legal consequences for defying that court order? And be honest, do you think Egbetokun's exit is justice, political calculation, or just coincidence? Because how you answer that question says everything about how you see power in Nigeria today. Drop your answer below, share this video with someone who needs to see it, and if you are still not subscribed, what are you waiting for? Hit that button right now, because this story is far from over and we'll be here when the next chapter breaks.